I was having a touching conversation with a mom recently about her anger. She was just feeling frustrated that her anger was dominating her parenting and hindering the relationship she had with her kids. And as we talked about it, I think she felt a lot more peace, but she needed to change some of the patterns. So I thought I'd share with you some of those ideas. You see, I believe that all emotions are good, including anger, and that God created us as emotional beings. And so if we understand that, then it sets the stage for us to manage our emotions more effectively. I think we have to accept the fact that we're emotional beings and not just push that down all the time. But I told her this: anger is good for identifying problems, but not good for solving them. The reason you get angry is usually because your kids are doing the wrong thing, I suggested. I know sometimes it can be our own selfishness that causes us to be angry. But in this case, her anger was prompted by her sibling conflict with her children, and she knew she needed to do something, but she was just so frustrated by it. It made her upset. She just knew this wasn't a righteous thing, and she needed to make some changes in how she responded. So, first, to admit to herself that she was angry was helpful, and to recognize the anger is good for identifying problems, but not good for solving them, opened the door for her to develop some new plans. In fact, we looked at James chapter 1, verses 19 and 20, which says this: everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires. You see, we're motivated because we see something wrong and we want to make it right. And so we're trying to bring righteousness into a situation. And sometimes we think our kids don't listen to us unless we get angry. And that's how she was feeling. And so she knew that she needed to develop some different plans, different solutions in order to manage her own anger. But just this sense that to know that we're all emotional beings was helpful for her. And then it freed her up to recognize this: okay, I've got a signal coming to me. This signal is coming from this emotion of anger. Something's wrong here. I need to do something about it. In her case, she started developing a whole list of strategies she could use to deal with sibling conflict in her family. And as she did, she was able to break this down more so that she wasn't motivating her kids by anger. But now she was taking this apart and saying, okay, look, you guys need to separate for a bit, and you need to come and talk to me. I'm going to help you deal with your own selfishness and the selfishness of the other person, because both of those usually exist. And it's solutions like that she started to develop. When she saw something out on the counter and she got angry about it because some child didn't put away what they were supposed to do, didn't clean up their mess in the kitchen, she didn't have to respond with anger, because the point here is that anger is good for identifying problems, but it's not good for solving them. If you start solving problems with anger, well, that's when people get hurt and relationships get damaged. And she didn't want that in her family. She didn't want to be that person who had anger all the time. So it took some significant work for her as she practiced that pause from the moment that she realized there was a problem to the solution step, and to develop some more solutions, some more abilities to handle the challenges of life. Usually what her children needed was correction, or they needed training. And each time that she saw something wrong, it became an opportunity for her to move in a more positive and right direction. That's what we're looking for here. We want to recognize that God made us as emotional beings, and emotions can have this positive benefit for us because they can reveal things that need to be changed in the world and in life. So the next time you get angry, think about, what is it that I just experienced that something was wrong? Now, sometimes the something is wrong is in our hearts. We got to deal with our own issues. But many times it's something that's out there. What is the problem? How can I solve this without using anger to bring into the situation? There's got to be other ways that I can solve problems besides using anger. That's going to be the key to managing your own emotion as you're experiencing it.